Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the advanced character of our world around us, and today we will talk a little bit about a very massive thing. Actually, always, almost, for many decades present in media, involving many, of course, people of politics because they love money, artists because artists are like prostitutes. They, in most cases they work only for money, and they work only for the ones who pay them well, really well. So we will talk about so-called charity. We know many events like very famous and later very corrupted, as it turned out. Life 8, 1984. We are the world, we are the children, and we like our money to fill our pockets. It should be the end. Because, as Bob Geldof later revealed, that's why he is not liked anymore. I didn't like his music, but he had many of his fans, but suddenly he is completely silenced by media because he revealed the truth about the money, huge chunk of money collected during this event Life 8 that never reached the goal as it was officially intended. So Ethiopia to help starving Ethiopians due to the civil war and dumped communistic politics, socialistic politics of the government dictatorship of Mengistu, who was supported mainly by USSR and DDR, so East Germany. Yeah, DDR stands for German acronym for this state. Such small explanation. And many people actually trusted this organized event, the organizers. They paid a lot of money, but none of this money reached the goal as it was intended. The same happened in 2010 or 2011 when there was this huge earthquake in Haiti. Actually, only really few dollars, maybe literally few dollars, reached Haiti. But there was a huge media campaign for the charity for poor Haitians who actually suffered a lot, and their country was heavily damaged after this earthquake. And Haiti is still fighting with the outcome of this earthquake, really tragic outcome. But many people became rich by helping, in quotation, poor Haitian people. So, when did it start? Of course, charity on a more massive scale started with Christianity, 3rd, 4th century AD, formulation of so-called orders with monasteries, where monks were obliged to help poor people. The idea itself is very noble, but it's very dangerous because human nature will always look, for majority of people, for profits. In entering such order, becoming a member gave a lot of privileges. One didn't have to go to the army, and we know that service in Roman army was not so easy and was serious. And very often, such monasteries didn't have to pay taxes, and in the late Roman Empire taxes were really high, or the taxes were greatly reduced to them. So, very quickly, people who were entering these orders and monasteries, which belong to these orders, actually orders were formed later, like a larger group of monasteries. So entering this people entering these monasteries were really decided to fill their pockets, have easy life, and make administrative career within the organization. So the Great Constantine Reform, when the church became actually combined with the state, end up all positive features of charity. Because charity become a business, and charity needs poverty. So the more charity, one would say, the more poverty we have since that moment. Because of two reasons. Because people who were living a very modest and poor life they decided, okay, if there is someone, some people, some organization to help us, so we will not work, we will be poor because it's more profitable for us. It gives us more profits to be poor than to work than to work and do this miserable job that doesn't give us much income. So we prefer to be poor. So this is first reason why it's better to be poor in such a situation. And also people who were in these monasteries, in these organizations, these career-oriented and profit-oriented people, under the cover of charity, also were interested in having more and more poor people, because then they were having argument for the secular power to give them more donations. So they were influencing politics, social politics especially, in such a way that these people who were actually at the border of the income, low income, were really not so much interested in doing their work. They were simply joining monasteries for charity. That was given, of course, very modest to them, but they didn't have to do much. And of course, some monasteries were organizing some of these people because, of course, someone had to work in a labor force in fields or as a servant. So they were collecting more and more people. So more and more people in some organizations means more and more regional and later global political power, because more and more people involved in such organization means more and more influence on real power. So this is how the charity becomes one big fraud and promotes increase in the number of really poor people instead of limiting them. The same one can say with all things that start with really noble intention and later get combined with the state or with some large organization and undergo the process of institutionalization. So they are becoming well-defined administrative institution ruled by the administrative, actually caste elite in quotation. That's why this is one of the reasons why I think the more charity, officially, especially the one promoted in media, the more poverty we will have. We see the same trend in the welfare states, because for poorer people doing low-paid jobs, it's not profitable to work anymore. They can get some benefits. Of course, such system for long on a such massive scale like in the welfare state will not work. That's why we have now what we have now, plus different reasons I was also talking before in my previous movies, and we will see how this collapse will look like. Of course, states and big companies are very much interested in reducing the number of people in need, so they will figure out something, and I think already they figure out. The one who thinks one knows. So the outcome of this movie is the more charity we have, especially in an organized, institutionalized form, the more poverty we have, because such form of charity on a massive scale, organized one, promotes behaviors that make people poor, make people being in need of this help this charity can offer. And also charity opens incredible opportunity for corruption. It also increases the number of poor people. Have a nice day. Bye.